So in this video we're going to be looking at the Toshiba V5470B. Already done a video on this, it's generally getting it going, but I have actually got a sound fault with it, and I also tried to be clever, always a bad idea, and increase the capacitor that runs the clock when the power's off. It had a 2200 microfarad capacitor, 6.3 volts, that basically slowly discharged when the power was off, kept the clock running for a couple of hours. So I thought I'd be clever and put a 5 farad 6 volt capacitor in there. It has about 5.7 volts across it when it's powered on, so that would have been fine. Only thing is, it doesn't work. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to strip this down, because it's a little bit different to other machines insofar as you don't just undo 4 screws and lift the cover off, and there you go, undo the screws underneath, take the cover off, you've got access to underneath. This is a little bit more involved, because you can take the sides off separately, front, and it's just a little bit different, being an older machine. And then we're going to take off this whole portion of the machine as one unit. I only found this out the other day that you can do this, and I don't recollect ever doing it back in the early 90s when I worked on 1 or 2 of these machines. So yeah, let's crack on. So first thing is to take the tape lid cover off, like so. 2 screws there, and then just lift it up and it unhooks. It's sort of just taking these out from there. Right, next thing, top cover. And incidentally, the screws for the lid aren't the right screws. They should be flatter. They still should be silver, I seem to remember, but they're sort of flatter with a bigger head, a bit more decorative. So that's it, that's off there. Then the next thing, I'm going to put it on its side. We'll take the bottom off. So 4 fairly large screws, relatively large screws. I'm also doing this on the floor, as you might have noticed, rather than on the bench. Main reason for that is it's a heavy machine. My bench is fairly narrow, and it just makes it easier to sort of get to everything. I'm not worried about it slipping off the bench, because it is heavy and it's quite a slippery case. Might topple off. It's on the floor, it's got nowhere to go. So you've got to take the back off before you can get to the screws for the side panels. Also have to take the front off to get the half of the machine apart. That screws there. Now you do have this issue as far as the mains plug. It looks as if you've got to take the mains plug off. You don't. It's a little bit of a fiddle, but you can. I don't remember how you do it. You can get it through. I think it's that way. Yeah. So through. A little bit of a squeeze, but I find actually getting it back can be more difficult. But so let's put it through, and there we go. Obviously, different plugs have different depths as well. This is fairly deep. The old period MK plug, probably from 1979. Let's put that out of the way. Then get the side off, screw there. And the sides actually come off very simply. Just literally pull and it just sort of unlocks from the front cover. So what I'm going to do now is take the front off. So just screw onto here. Onto here. I had to repair this bit of plastic so it wasn't really broken. It's a little bit that the plastic is a lot weaker than the chassis the parts are attached to the point that they're very easy to break, the plastic bits, just because of the sheer weight of the machine and the metal. Okay, so disconnect the clock and the channel change buttons. You can take them off at the clock end, but you always have to take the channel 1 off at the board end. So I'm just going to take them all off at the board end. So, and there's the clock there. Really amazing, it's got a surface mount chip for 1979. That's pretty advanced. The timer on these also is very good. It's a three program timer. It's all electronic, so you can record different channels on different timer settings. So then the clock LCD with lamps. I've replaced the lamps, put LEDs in, because the normal filament lamps had well and truly gone. And they are actually run all the time. Even when in standby, the clock's lit up. So yeah, they don't last long. So LEDs should do a much better job. That's that. Now for the fun bit. And this is the bit I'm not so sure on. Apparently, there are only four screws to get this assembly off. And 2 connectors apparently. I think it's this one. There's one there in the back. But we'll see. So I believe it's this screw here. So that's a self-tapper. Let's put that back on. These things keep falling off. This one here. I'm going to unplug that in readiness. Whoops. Then this one here. And I think, from what I understand, once I take this assembly off, the sound processing board, you can just undo those 2 screws and it folds down. But we'll see. Oh, it's come off as well. Make sure that doesn't get lost. And I think screw under here. And then this should just slide off. Like so. And then you've got these cables here. Yeah, apparently it is just one connector, so that's correct. How cool is that? So that's how to split your 5470. So I can now get, it's actually quite fun to see this machine looking so small. That's very cool. So, this board's left here as well. I don't actually know which board that is. Oh, that's the trick mode type control board. So that folds down. Very nice. And then this folds down. Now, the only slight problem I can see with this is obviously this controls all of the signal. So you've got your RF outs, in outs, but you've also got your audio video composites outs here. So yeah, it's not like you can really run this machine with that all removed, which is interesting. So let's fold this board down. Looks like you've got to unplug the head. That's going to the audio head here. So there we go. So the problem I've been having with this is the sound in recorder's low, and the sound just E to E even is quite slow to sort of build up to a point where you can actually hear it. It can take up to 30 seconds before you hear any audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to take this board out. I'm going to recap it anyway, because I suspect there's a dodgy capacitor and there aren't that many there. I'll do some checks and hopefully it'll be all good to go. And I'll also have a look at the super cap. You can just see it there. The circuit will need to be modified. Have a look at the circuit diagram, and I'll have to modify that. I actually had to buy the manual for it. I've got the paper version somewhere, I think, but I bought an electronic version. It's just easier. It's only $5, I think. So that's really cool. It's a really cool thing to know, to be able to take that off, because it doesn't look that obvious. So yeah, that's really cool. So thank you very much for watching. No doubt I'll do another video or two on this, and I'll see you in another video.